do a little jingle? Sounds like Strictly. This episode of The Isle File is supported by Hecky.dev, providing site builds and support that take your wedding industry website to the next level. Now, every supplier thinks their website is fine, until you actually dig into it. Now, it's always the same thing. A beautiful portfolio, amazing weddings, and then a homepage that takes about 6 seconds to load and no one knows where to click. Which is wild, because that's literally where people decide whether to inquire or not. Or you get to the homepage and there's no testimonials. Why would someone be convinced to get in touch if it looks like you've never had a client? And that's what Hecky.dev does really well. They build intuitive, vibrant websites that show off what actually matters the most and turns visitors into bookings, which, to be fair, is the whole point. So if you're a website supplier and your website hasn't had a proper look in a while, it just might be worth it. Anyway, on with the episode. So, plus ones at weddings, what do you think?
Are they married?
It's a plus one, it doesn't matter. You could take your neighbour, you could take your friend.
No, I don't think it matters.
I think if the plus one's not married, I think if it's just a partner or a friend.
I've just got a very quick one to input into it. I'm on the fence, but what I would say is if I got invited to a wedding and I didn't know anyone or I was worried, and I would like the opportunity to take a plus one so that I could enjoy the day and not feel like a billing no mates, if that was the situation.
Yeah.
But that's just one scenario of many.
Mm-hmm. Because I think, like if I got invited to a wedding but I couldn't take you,
would you be sad?
I'd feel a little bit weird about it.
I'd be like, woohoo!
I mean, it's the plus one and then there's no kids. Like the no kids...
We're plus one-ing.
We're plus one-ing. Yeah, I think plus one... No, it's not that straightforward. Because we had this conversation with a couple the other day and they'd invited... I think it was her brother, but he's just got with a new partner. And the wedding's in 2 years' time. And they're like, but I don't know this person.
Yeah.
Like, so then is there a qualifying period? And I think
what
that's...
the answer is. Do what you want.
What you want. Do what makes you both happy.
And with that, shall we get into the episode?
Yes.
Perfect. Here we go. Hello and welcome to The Isle File. I'm Alex, a wedding saxophonist, and each episode I sit down with people from the wedding industry to talk honestly about what happens behind the scenes. Today on The Isle File, I'm joined by the team from Epic Events, an award-winning venue styling and event company based in Norfolk. They've got over 10 years of experience covering everything from lighting, from draping, to props, dance floors and DJs. I've just been around the warehouse and it is huge, absolutely huge, filled with everything that you need for your big day. So welcome Dan Kerry to the Isle File.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you. And
welcome
lovely
to Epic.
Yeah. How long have you guys been here now in this particular warehouse?
So we moved on to this site in 2018.
August 2018.
Yeah, but we were actually in a smaller building.
Okay.
It wasn't long after we moved on to here that we realised maybe we'd need a bigger building.
Right.
But we didn't actually move into this particular one. This is our third year now.
March 2022?
Yeah, so...
23?
March 23.
March 23.
So we've been on the site for a while, but in this particular building, this is our third year. So yeah.
Nice.
We love it round here. It's very quiet.
Yeah.
It's an old RAF base. I don't know if you got lost as you
I was looking round and I thought it looks like quite aircraft style.
Yeah. So it's an old RAF base. We don't get much passing trade here, which is quite nice. So we are quite like appointment only and off the beaten path, but both kind of aviation enthusiasts, a little bit geeky as well. So
nice.
This is
Is that why you chose the spot?
No, I think logistically for us, it's so good in terms of we're 10 minutes away. It's not too far out of Norwich, and for the venues that we service, we're quite central. So it's good.
Yeah, because do you cover the whole of East Anglia or do you go beyond? Would you say?
We cover the whole of East Anglia, but we tend to predominantly stay, I think kind of Elms Barn would probably be the furthest south we go, if you can call it
Well, we go
south.
to Newmarket, yeah.
Sometimes Newmarket, but that's kind of south. I'm not very good at geography. South, where's that? Southwest?
I'd say that Elms Barn's probably more east.
So if we go over to like that kind of area east, then we go down. I think we border Essex. We've popped into Essex a few times. Go as far west over to Cambridge, and up towards Kings Lynn. So predominantly Norfolk and Suffolk. We will venture across the borders if the opportunity arises and it kind of works logistically. So.
Nice. So for people that haven't come across you guys before, I mean, I see you guys everywhere all the time for any events that I'm doing, all at venues as well, because you sponsor a couple of venues like Norwich Theatre, or do some things there as well. So for people that don't know you guys, what is your main bread and butter? What is it that you guys do the most of?
It's quite difficult to say because we do so much. I think our disco and DJ hire service is quite well placed out in the industry. So we look after a lot of venues in terms of being in their packages. So if you were to book an event or, a wedding or an event at, say, Spousal Manor, Dunstan Hall, and disco DJs included in that, then that would be us.
Oh, nice.
So we've got that kind of interest, and also people just coming to us directly. So that keeps the team of DJs quite busy over the month. Photo booth is really popular. And then in addition to that, with all the decoration, I think lighting and draping is definitely, coming into its own over the last couple of years. So that's really popular. Artificial flowers and a lot of our props and stuff. So, and pretty much everything else in between. But
I think we've positioned ourselves kind of inadvertently with the all of the bits that we do. We are renowned now for packages being like a turnkey solution for a lot of people as well. There isn't much in terms of a wedding that you couldn't come and book with us and to kind of take care of the whole thing, which is quite nice. So I think
the food and the furniture.
No food, no furniture.
I really want a third F. I'm like, we do everything apart from the food and the furniture. I just need that third F.
Feet. I don't know. I'll leave you with that. Maybe the viewers can suggest the other F.
Comment below.
The other F that we don't do at weddings. Maybe, I don't know. So I think that from a high level decor all the way down to the ground, to the table centerpieces, to the stationery that goes on the table, your printed menus, your place names, all of the signage bits we can take care of as well, like Kerry said, of the artificial florals. So for us, we do kind of aim now at the market for kind of going in as a whole package for people. Yeah,
no, nice. And I suppose that's quite nice for the client as well on the day, because whether it's a bride or groom or whether it's a corporate event that's happening, you guys are the not a one-man band, but you're a supplier of basically everything that take care for the event, rather than, I need to talk to this supplier and this supplier. You cover quite a lot of that stuff already with you guys.
I think it's not just on the day. For us, like some people's journey is 2 years long. So some of the consultations that we do, they come in and they see all of the bits that we can do, and they're like, you know what, I just want to be able to deal with that one person. So, and again, with the corporate side of things, I think that works a little bit differently. If they'll also try and get us to put under our umbrella possibly services that we don't offer. So if they want a saxophonist to go along our DJ, they'll say, you get that. So then we kind of bring you guys in under our umbrella as well to do that. But in terms of the wedding side of things, I think there's a lot to be said for the whole journey, really. Cutting out the multiple suppliers and having to deal with different people, and especially when it comes to logistics, you want to know who's setting this up and when. You have to go to them, then you have to go to them, and then the planner will come back to them, and then you have to wait for them to come back. So the whole chain of communication. Whereas I guess the benefit is this is your chain of communication.
Because it's quite overwhelming planning a wedding. Like the amount of invoices that you receive, and communications and WhatsApps and emails and back and forth with different people. Whereas you guys can just do it with just you, and that's great.
Yeah, and there's obviously wedding planners out there that will do like a full planning service. So we're not quite at the full planning service. So when people do come to us, genuinely they would need to come with their ideas and their inspo.
Yeah.
We then use our knowledge and experience to convert that into what their wedding day can look like. If someone is looking to come to us and plan everything, then they would definitely need a wedding planner.
Yeah.
But then once they've got that wedding planner can still come to us, and obviously we can still do the whole kind of decor package. But just to be kind of clear on the boundary of that one. We don't plan the whole thing.
That could be. You could find an F for that. We could find an F.
Flanning?
No flanning. We don't do full flanning. There's definitely specialists, very good specialist people out there that do that. So, and in addition to what we were saying about the packages, I do pride us on offering packages for all budgets and all kind of, different venues as well. So it's not like, you need to spend this amount of money and that's it. We've got low end. We don't discriminate on budgets. We don't discriminate on theme or style. Like there's something for everybody. And I think that's really important as well, especially in this current climate.
Yeah.
It's not just packages either. Like, I think we're positioned to do that very well. But again, even when it comes to birthdays, people just want the light up numbers or they'll just want the DJ. So again, we're positioned well to do that. So yeah.
So Epic Events has been running from 2014
Yes.
as a business.
Yeah.
So where did you guys start prior to this? What made you guys decide on this business, basically?
Well, so Dan's always DJ'd his whole teenage upwards life.
It's always been my side hustle and alongside a proper job. But
it's one of them things where we kind of Dan's DJing. We decided to take that a bit further and just kind of promote that more. So we were just epic discos back at the start, but then we started to go to wedding shows, and then people are like, "Oh, actually, could you do blah blah blah?" And we're like, "Yeah, we probably could. We'll add that on." Then we started to do a lot of chair dressing, as in the decorations for chairs. So then we were epic discos and epic chair covers.
Nice.
But then it wasn't long after that we realised that we was doing even more. So that's when we decided actually Epic Event Hire is the best brand.
Yeah.
I think we aligned that with when we moved on to here.
Yeah.
Really, to 2018.
We'd outgrown kind of the space that we were in, which was basically the shed at home. We were doing a lot more than just the discos and the chair dressing. So actually, let's align to an event hire. It will never need to change, because even if we grow and grow, we're still not going to need to change that branding. So prior to that, we were both in hospitality. It's how we actually met. We both worked at a hotel together.
Nice.
So
in Norfolk or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a Holiday Inn at Norwich Airport.
Not Sheffield, yeah.
So Dan was in maintenance.
Right.
And I was the restaurant supervisor.
Nice.
So so we had the hospitality background as well. And that also helped us kind of with a stepping stone into the industry, because we did start off by doing their Christmas parties at that same hotel. So
Chair covers for the Christmas events, and I DJ'd through
but
the Christmas
then that
events.
Even
So
turned into, can you do some table decorations? Okay. And like I say, you just grow and grow.
Yeah.
We
never say no.
never say no.
Never say no, and that's
Apart
how
from
we've
food and furniture.
apart from food and furniture
And planning.
And planning.
Yeah. So I think just not being afraid to kind of try something. I think is what's led us to where we are. We had explosive growth, I think it was fair to say.
Yeah.
It literally just kind of just kept growing and growing, and then when we outgrew one thing and we outgrew another thing, and I think it was only when we moved into here and this building kind of got a refurbishment before we moved in. We really planned how our logistics worked when it came to the warehouse and being able to lay everything out and work out what we needed, how we ran our business. So I think moving into this particular building was our first. We had heating in the office. We hadn't had that before. So it was just eye-opening, really, and on where we'd got to that point, and versus that could also then project us where we were going to go. And so even just having the workshop that you saw earlier with all of our machinery and bits in there, like just having that dedicated space that doesn't interfere with anything that goes on over here is great.
Because I imagine before you actually moved here, your whole process that you have out there, so like the outgoing and incoming, and then the process to sort everything out. Was that how was that done before?
I mean,
you didn't have that much.
It existed. It wasn't as neat, and there were a lot of days that we were here at 10 o'clock at night loading the van. It's funny because the building that we originally started in is the building next door. So
really? Oh, okay.
You can look out of the window and still see how far we've came just from coming there to the processes that we can now do in here. But that was part of the journey. We learnt a lot in that little space and being able to get everything ready and out of the door into the van. But
setting a table up for an appointment, and then when they've gone, clearing it again.
Taking the whole thing
so
down.
So you can have your lunch.
And
clearing it again for the next one.
So even just having this room, and just like when we put this unit in, it was nice to just be able to say that's just going to be for in here. So it's nice to now look at where we're at this moment and how that's also going to help us grow.
Could you talk about the explosive growth that you have and how you've seen stuff that's happened throughout the years and adding on those different services? Has there been something, a change in the wedding industry, especially over the last 10 years, that you've added a package because you've seen that something happen? Or has it been kind of, you've just been asked to do something, so let's just add it on?
I think the big change for us, not necessarily something that's changed in the industry, because we'll come back to that, but for us, we used to outsource quite a lot.
Right, yeah.
But what we struggled with was not having the control over that. And even down to like, if you're gonna, get something printed for someone, but you need to get a printer to do it, and then you're waiting for that to come, you're relying on couriers and Royal Mail, which, when you want something to come, it doesn't come. So we're always about the customer journey. So, I would much rather do it in-house and have control over it for our sanity, but also for the customer journey. So, if something changes on someone's table plan a few days before the wedding, we're more likely to be able to change that for them than having to say, I'm really sorry, we got it printed, I can't do anything about that. So, we've got that ability, being so organised, being the size of this place, and being able to do everything in house, that we can say to people, "It's fine, don't worry. Like we can sort it." So, it's the customer journey. In terms of what's changed over the years, trends.
Draping, things like draping. If we're looking at trends in terms of wedding decor, then draping, I think the biggest change for us, and this isn't anything to do with styling, it's about just people last minute now. The journey that you would go on with a couple or with a client before, you could kind of really map that out. But I think since COVID, really, I mean, I'm just going to put that out there as like a benchmark of where we've measured from, like post-COVID, the amount of last minute, and it's not just little things, like there will be people that have come to us, I'm getting married at a really well-established big venue for 100 people in 3 weeks. Or 3 months, whereas before that was 2 years, 3 years. So, again, luckily we've positioned ourselves well to be able to go, okay, I think we can help,
Yeah.
but and really start to pull that together quite quickly, just based on all of the bits that we've got and our experience, especially if it's with a venue that we're familiar with and the team that we're familiar with, then we
can be really reactive, can't we, to that?
But yeah, I think the biggest trend at the moment is there's no weekend weddings anymore. No. People are getting married 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And that's 7 days a year, all through the year.
I was going to say, like, even we discussed earlier, like September time, October time tends to be.
September is crazy. I would say September is arguably busier than probably April,
Tuesday
May.
Weddings in March.
Yeah.
Like Tuesday wedding. Okay, March. Not even in the school holidays.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's great. It's great for the industry. It's great for the venues.
Yeah.
It's great for the people that are making use of that. Mm-hmm. And it means that everyone's got more kind of flexibility on choice and stuff that's out there. So.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think people have gone more for those?
Depends on on the venue, really. If you're not focused on anything outdoorsy, if you're not thinking I want to get married outside, or you're not too bothered about the outdoor space being picturesque or anything like that, for some people it's not about that. They're not bothered, so they will go to a venue that doesn't have the outdoor space, and it doesn't matter if that's done in February or if it's done in September, other than if that's not important, then they don't need to pay the premium for it. So I think that's probably part of it.
And also special dates, people are doing a lot more now. So if they choose a date and you say, why? Because we always ask, like, what made you pick that date?
Yeah.
Oh, that's our anniversary, or that's,
right.
Actually it's my birthday, and actually people are picking special dates, which is nice. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Rather than, that was just the date that
just
was available.
Just a Saturday in August,
because
that's what we think we need to do. Yeah.
And also, you can't always guarantee the British weather as well. If you want a summer outside wedding, sometimes, even we're early April at the moment when we're filming this, and it's beautiful out.
Yeah, but it's great for venues because it means they can fill their dates all year round rather than having to turn people away because they only want summer dates and stuff. So it's good. It's good to see. But it does mean that people are doing stuff last minute, which is... and
that's not just weddings either, is it? Like that goes for the corporate side of things as well. Again, it's last minute. But yeah.
So in terms of the process then of couples booking for weddings, you're seeing a lot of stuff coming in more last minute. What point in the process of planning a wedding do you think people should start thinking about draping and styles for their wedding and DJs and things like that? Well, what point of the process do you think that should happen? Do you think that's quite an early on, like right at the start thing when the venue happens, or more midway down the line once RSVPs have been sent out?
I think it's a mixed bag actually, because I would say that things like photo booth and DJ should be there with photographer, venue, registrar, because if you've got your mindset on sax, disco, photo booth, particular business style person, there's only one of that, and so if you want that for your date, then you need to get that booked for your date. I think then all of the other stuff follows after, once you've got your photographer, cake, all of those key things. That's when we then find people do the decor, lighting and all of that stuff a bit later on. And I think that then becomes budget led, because actually
what's left
in the pot and what I would like and the realistic kind of how that's going to be achieved. So we always say to people, we're so flexible with people, we try and do everything we can for them, and we'll say, if you book the date, you book the venue, you book the DJ, and then you don't talk to us for 6 months, that's fine. Let's see where you're at in that time, and if you then like us to help you with your decor, then we can talk about that at that point. So, but we always say to people, get your key suppliers first. And I would put DJ and photo booth in there with sax, venue, cake. But it's such a variety. We've got people at the minute that are for 2028, and we're a bit like, I haven't really thought that far ahead, but that's fine. And then we've got people, like Dan said, who are getting married next month. I've had people book last week for next week for last minute bits. So it's such a variety, but because of where we are, how organised we are, what we've got and stuff, we can be so reactive to that, which is nice. It's not very often we say no.
and you're advertised so well. You're quite well established now, and also the fact that you are a recommended supplier for a lot of venues, and the fact that venues do love working with you makes it more reassuring for the couples as well. In the time that you've grown here, and also at across the road where you were before, what's the team? How's that expanded for you? Because we were talking about the amount of DJs that go out earlier. What's the team like here, and how's that grown over the last few years?
We've got a mixture of part-time, full-time, and what we'd say freelance. So like the DJs, they work for themselves.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of people in the team who would do that in terms of photo booths. So
Right.
it's a nice little side income for somebody that's got a day job and just wants to go do photo booths in the evening.
Yeah.
We've also got people that work employed in our team part-time because that works for their home life.
Yeah.
And full-time. So we've generally sat at between, I would say, 6 to 8 kind of minimum. At the most, we maybe had 14 in the team. I think at the minute we're sitting at around
11, 12, I think. Plus the DJs.
Plus the DJs,
Plus the
So,
freelance on top of that as well.
quite consistently always been a big team. Majority of the team are long-serving. Naturally, we will have a turnover at the end of a season where someone's done a season and gone, loved it, but not really my thing. A lot of people don't realise the amount of work that goes into it, as well as the loss of your weekends for pretty much half the year.
Yeah.
But it's not to say they've hated work in the industry. They're just like, actually, I've done a season, I know what it's about, and I'm going to do something else. So we usually end up recruiting at least once a year, but that's because we have a natural people are moving on and then we're bringing new people in. But then the core team now, we've got a good at least 2-3 years minimum experience for the rest of the team. So it's quite a good variation, really.
Yeah.
Kind of ages, all kinds of backgrounds, and a lovely little team.
Nice. And in terms of future growth, is there something you aspire that you kind of want to get it more into, or are you quite happy with where things are at the moment?
I think, I mean, I could sit here and say that we're quite happy with everything and that we won't grow, and then next week I'll see something amazing.
I think that should be more like...
I'm drawn to sparkly things. So.
Yeah, we're at the moment, we're going through a bit of a... Let's look at what... So we've got a really good CRM system all our bookings go onto, so it's also holds our stock.
That's good.
We can actually pull off a report. I mean, I don't like to sound clinical, but we're running a business here.
Yeah.
Let's pull a report and actually look at stuff, because we don't like to get rid of things, do we? We like, one day somebody might want those vases that we've only
all those things that we made.
But actually, let's look at what's not really been out on hire for at least the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Let's sell it on. And we have been selling on stuff to kind of couples, haven't we? And they've been coming in and picking bits up.
Use the data. I mean, we've got a lot of data. This, like Kerry said, the system we use can provide reports. It could drill down to even individual flowers, I think.
Yeah.
So it's looking at that data now, whereas, like Kerry said, we'll make something and we'll just put that on the shelf. Never realised that it's not on the website. Nobody's ever seen it. It's just sat on the shelf. And so the guys, I think, have been given a little bit more free rein this year in terms through the beginning of the year. We always then start to have a little tidy up. And
what
I think
we could do differently.
This year, I think we were both like, okay, just go find everything, but use the system.
Yeah.
So I think for us now to be took that emotion out of it a little bit for us. So they've gone in, they've peeled things off the shelf.
They've probably thrown things away that I'm not even knowing.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
In 2 years' time, I'm sure that was that vase somewhere that I wanted.
It never went anywhere. Never went on the website.
But actually, it's been great. The way that they've done it this year is they've used the system. They found something on the shelf. They've looked. They've gone, actually, it's not even in here. Which then they've come to us and they've gone, this isn't in there. And we've been able to then go, okay, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or actually, do you know what? Let's put it on. We'll try it and we'll go through the season with it this time. But it's on now on the website. It's now in the system. People can book it. So,
We're trying new things this year, aren't we? It's hard because you want to follow a trend.
Yeah.
But a trend is a trend for a reason.
Yeah.
And is that trend still going to be there? So.
And how much money and time do you want to put into that
Yeah,
before it wears out in 6 months or so?
Well, we'd be changing the warehouse every year, wouldn't we? So we try and do our variation on it. So, you know, it's not very often people come and say, I've seen this, and we go, oh, okay. We can't really help with that because we'll try and be like, do you know what? That's a really good idea. Actually, we talk about it. Is that something that we think would work for other people going forward? And then kind of put our twist on it. Because I always try and keep people's budget kind of. Sometimes people don't understand the cost of work that goes into something. So it's like, you don't want to poo-poo on their idea.
No.
But at the same time, you've got to try and keep it.
But I think I said this to you earlier when you said, do we make things for people?
Bespoke,
so yes, I think like in terms of signage and things like that, but when it comes to somebody who wants a whole elaborate piece done or a centerpieces in a backdrop or something like that, we're probably not the people for those.
No.
In order to make one-off pieces for people. Because I think the honest answer to that is we just don't really have the time. It's a shame because we have the resources for it, to be honest, as well, and the space to do it. But yeah, I think we do stay in our lane a little bit with that, don't we? So
yeah.
So we'll come on to the Room 101 section now. So this idea, I mean, I loved. I don't think it's still on anymore, actually, Room 101. But when it was back in the day.
That's the one where it's...
on a conveyor.
On the conveyor belt, Frank Skinner.
Yeah.
And so what I loved about it is things that we can maybe just put away somewhere. And it's not like we're completely disowning the idea. Every wedding is different, every couple is different, and we respect that because, you know, it's your day at the end of the day. But there's some things that we just feel we need to...
As suppliers, as people in the industry that see it all the time, I think, I hear you.
For me. I mean, one of mine is 1,000 years walking down the aisle, which is
I walked down the
okay, but when was your wedding?
Actually, 1 week's time.
Yeah.
In
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
When it was trendy though to walk
Yeah.
down the aisle
So
for
we
1,000
need to- so we need
years.
to-
And
Okay,
Carrie played
Yeah.
that for us. Yeah. So
I'll put it on the conveyor and off it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me your first answer was Ed Sheeran or something.
Well, hang on. I think it's not fair to say that. Firstly, it was when Ed Sheeran was popular.
Exactly.
But also, we had Barney Holmes, and he did a little medley, like a mashup for us
It
as
was
well.
still
So
Ed Sheeran thinking out
it
loud
was still
there.
Ed Sheeran thinking out loud. Yeah, but
So on the conveyor, off it goes.
okay, yeah.
Well, that's not got the winner. I planned it.
Anyway, this has been the Aisle File with Alex. Kerry and Dan signing out.
But it just goes to show that was popular then. It's something for me that I feel that it's a popular song that people have just seen
It's
over
just an
the
easy
years.
go-to, isn't it?
Exactly.
I don't even know why.
Well, no, because at the time it was relevant for us. It meant something for us, and also just being.
Kerry's finding this out now,
I don't
did
know
it?
why I went down the aisle to that. Because Carrie's.
Oh,
good at
what,
playing
1,000
it.
years? Yeah, because Carrie recommended it, and she's really good at playing it. And I had no influence in that decision either, so that was all you, I'm afraid.
I know. I'll take that.
When you ran down the aisle towards me.
Yeah. So yeah.
So things that we're putting in. The first one that you basically you're going to campaign these three things to me, and I'm going to decide one of the three to put in.
Okay.
So far we've had things like long speeches at a wedding after a wedding breakfast. People have talked about wind at weddings, and that's not the kind of wind from the human body. That's the weather conditions of wind.
I mean, I'd still say
preparing
that
for the day.
neither would be welcome, to be honest. So, yeah.
But the first one that you've got for me is mobile phones at weddings.
I think that there should be a box at the door. And
Like at
everyone
school.
Yeah, totally. Just put your phone in there.
Yeah.
Couples pay thousands upon thousands for content creation, videographers and photographers. So nobody else in that wedding party is going to get anything any better
Mm-hmm.
than what they get. I mean, I like to go on holidays and take photos of stuff, don't get me wrong, it's about your memories, but is it really necessary? Because you're not taking it in, you're not enjoying the day. And I've actually, the last couple of concerts we've been to, I've not bothered with my mobile phone and I've enjoyed it much better.
Yeah.
I think as well, for not just the photography side of things, like just the social. You're at a table, like just with nobody having those phones present, you're going to promote conversations.
Yeah.
Talk to people, catch up with granny that you've not seen.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment. You don't need to take pictures and videos. You don't need to do any of that because suppliers now, even if it's not your photographer, videographer or content creation, if it's your DJ or your venue, they're all doing the content as well. So, you doing your content.
I do a
If
little
they want to see
reel at
their
the end of the
dance
day.
floor,
Yeah.
book Alex Sachs and he'll provide you a whole dance floor.
Yeah.
Like,
You've got a whole 3
content.
hours of dance floor.
Exactly. Phones in boxes at the door.
Yeah. I think you're right as well with concerts as well. I've even made a thing with like friends that I've gone to. Some friends that I go and see concerts, they're FaceTiming people.
You're not even going to watch it back.
Yeah.
Exactly. How long? There's people that will stand in front of me or to the sides of me, and they'll be holding their phone landscape, and I'm just thinking, when are you going to watch that? And the quality of the audio of that, like this is the memory that you want to live in right now.
And it's all here.
Yeah.
And that's all you need.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Put that on that conveyor.
That's a good one.
I know.
That's a good one. Solid. It's a solid choice.
Is there any pros to it? Do you think there are any pros?
There are
the
pro.
above
I
that
do
was
have a pro, and I spoke to this about someone the other day, and that is the QR code and the digital album that people can upload to. So couples, there's a portal that couples can kind of subscribe to.
So like an app or something.
Yeah. And then that will give them a QR code, and then it means that anyone at the wedding that day, any photos they've got, they scan the QR code and they can upload this, which therefore creates a kind of digital album for the bride and groom.
Yeah.
But just from everybody else. But that goes against what you say. So I think
It's a funny one actually because you could say there were pros and cons for each thing. So the other day, a wedding that we did at a venue, their couple just had a Google Drive and just gave everyone a link and asked everyone to drop anything that they'd content-wise put into the drive.
Yeah.
And so the couple could access that. But along with all the other stuff they've got, are they realistically going to?
Yeah.
And the other thing I've thought about as well, which I've seen with my very own eyes, people in the photo booth taking selfies of themselves or using the in the photo booth backdrop. And it's like, the photo booth is here, they've paid for it.
Yeah.
Go in the photo booth, get your nice professional pictures. You don't need a selfie in the photo booth. And like, I could be a hypocrite because I do love a mobile phone.
Yeah.
I use it a lot and I will take pictures on my journey and I'll put my own stories up of my own life. But at a wedding, they need to go in the box at the door.
The other pro that I would agree with Dan on there, because I think, Dan, your point about the Google Drive or the app or whatever that is fine, but I think then you're just going to get a whole load of maybe unwanted blurry photos from the day. One thing I have seen is when people will print off a little card and it will have 8 different photos that you need to get on the day. So it's like a bingo kind of thing.
Like a challenge.
Like a challenge,
Yeah.
So take a picture with the couple, take a picture with the DJ guy, take a picture with Nan. Like there'll be different things on there. Take a funny group photo on the lawn with the croquet set or something like that. Who knows? And I think that creates some conversation because you're physically having to go around and do these things with people. Yes, you have got your phone,
but it's you being used as a tool to promote social activity.
Exactly.
And so I agree.
Things you could do though. You could sketch yourself.
I mean,
You could ask the photographers to do it, or you could give them a Polaroid camera.
I was going to say a disposable camera,
Yeah.
have them on the table,
Yeah.
box at the door.
I'm still putting them in the box at the door.
I have to say that the pros of them going in the box at the door outweigh the pros of having phones. So I have to agree with
you
you.
can't recreate except for people who are actually having a lovely day.
Yeah.
Memories.
Lovely day.
Okay, the second one that it's campaign for is a very strong opener. The second one is wedding favours.
It's the pressure. It's the pressure of it, and we've seen some like great takes on it as well. But couples, there's no clear guidance for anybody of what they should. It's all budget led.
Yeah.
And by the time you've done everything else wedding related, do couples need that extra pressure? They've already invited everybody they've liked.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, the day is for everyone. It's not just for the couple. And I think then the added pressure of them trying to put something on the table to give them as a gift as well. I don't know.
The only time I think it's allowed is if it's a charitable one. So I've seen where people do like, I don't know, you can get those trolley tokens, can't you? But from a charity shop, give everyone one of those. We've seen them before. That's quite a nice touch because you're donating to the charity and everyone gets a little thing to take away.
Yeah.
Edible ones never make sense to me. I know they look great, and I'm not criticising any edible favours, but you're already eating lots of food and stuff there.
Yeah, you're getting fed
Why
at a
are you
wedding,
spending
aren't you?
all that money on also now putting them something else to eat on the table?
The one I do wonder is the lottery ticket. Can you imagine?
cool.
Can you imagine if somebody did win $100,000? Are they going to Are they sitting the wedding out, or are you cashing
I
out?
actually said to a bride the other day. She said, "Do we need to do favours?" And I said, "Well, it's up to you. Like, what do you think?" The groom had been married once before, and he brought up the sugared almonds, which we all know is traditionally where it all started. I think maybe even beyond that. But I said to her, what about lottery tickets? And she flatly was like, nope, because I'll be so annoyed if someone else wins and not me.
Yeah.
But I think lottery scratch cards.
I was going to say, at my cousin's wedding, we had scratch cards. And as far as I know, no one won. I think maybe the biggest.
But can you imagine? Can you imagine like Uncle Keith winning $100,000 at the table and everybody just? No, I don't think I could. I don't think I'd want that.
Or I think.
So we did gin. Our table plan was gin. It was gin bottles, but on the table you had the miniature of the gin.
Right. Okay.
That your table was.
So each guest got a little inch of whatever that table.
We did have a couple of guests
that
ended up being quite upset that they weren't on the tankery table and they were on what was the other?
No one wanted to be on the beef eating
No one
table.
wanted the beef eating table. Yeah. So again, they were things that we hadn't considered, but yeah.
Did you not do a survey of all your guest' favourite
I
gins?
know, yes. Well, I don't think it was the type of gin. I think it was the standard.
Oh right.
The standard. Why are we on? Why did we get beef eater when Tankery was anyway? But
I think if you're trying to find some budget to get an add-on, like again Saks or something like that, that amount that you spend on favours could go
somewhere.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. The final one is one from yourself, Dan, that you mentioned earlier, was unrealistic expectations. Quite a broad.
It's broad. So there's many things. Firstly, let's talk about unrealistic expectations of what to achieve in a particular venue.
Okay.
I think we get a lot of photos of some of the more elaborate draping installations that we've done in venues that lend themselves to that kind of installation, and then we'll get sent said picture, and then we'll get sent a picture of this room, and it's not even like I just the difference is so wild, so wildly out there that you're just looking, and I'm like, but how can you look at that and think that that's going? Tell me how it's going to go into there. Like, even if we had to sacrifice some of the elements of it, how? So I think just look at what it is that you're trying to achieve and accept that possibly, yes, you might want this, but the venue you've chosen, it's not going to go into that. So, and then I think you've got the budget side of it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If everything is budget driven and money was no object, we could do this. AI's got a lot to answer for in terms of the inspiration that we get sent now.
Really?
Because you can take a picture of your venue and you can go dress it. Just come up with an idea, and AI will deliver that for you, a picture of your venue, and it will make it look incredible. The follow up question to that is, what's the budget for this?
Yeah.
Because they don't that they don't want to ask that question to AI because they're not going to like the answer.
No.
but they, so
send
then
it to you and ask
so
about
they
it.
send it to us, and that's fine. So I think people just need to have that conversation with themselves before they then put it out to us, because then I sometimes feel that because we do like to say yes to people, we do
Yeah,
like
I
to
don't
try
like to
something.
be the bad guy and be like, I'm really sorry, but no.
So then, and
Because
then we
we
have
feel
to
bad.
sit and politely think, how do we say that that's not going to work? Like that, it's not going to work. And budget aside, if we can't deliver that because the infrastructure isn't there, then surely that could have just been a thing that they could have thought about before coming to us to then make me say that. To make me be the bad guy on
Stop
that.
making Dan the bad guy. That's
Um,
quite a serious one, that.
I don't know. I do, and I think it's like people do know their budget. They'll know that. Like, and
Maybe
that's
people need to just do a bit of research.
yeah. Or if you're going to get AI to design something for you, follow it up with what's the budget for this? Because if it's drawn you some kind of design, it's gonna wherever it's got that inspo from, it's gonna give you an idea, or maybe go in with this is the budget for it.
I'm
So
going to try that now.
AI is an incredible tool. I mean, it's hard. I think you get out what you put in with it.
Yeah.
So if the prompts are there, it can be a really good tool to use, and we do use it to a degree, and we do now. I think that's probably another trend when you're talking about trends. Most things that are coming to us now, either the wording is around the question of what they're after has kind of been tweaked with AI, or the inspiration pictures that we're getting is coming from that. So, which is fine if it's realistic.
Do you think that makes things harder for you from a creative process in terms of what's
Well,
given?
actually, no. So we had one recently where somebody had done just that with an AI picture.
Yeah.
She clearly said, like, I have AI'd this.
Yeah.
I love it. Can you do it? Yes, we could. It wasn't unrealistic. And actually, back to what I was saying to you, where I'm like, we're not flanners. You know? We're not flanners.
By the end of the year, it'll be in the Oxford Dictionary, this word.
So, you know, you need to come to us with an idea. They come to us with an idea, and we're going, like, that's some vases, that's some signs, that's some drapes, like, brilliant.
Yeah.
But that's when the budget then comes into it.
Yeah.
Because...
And time.
And
time for that particular venue and that particular inspiration picture. It was quite the installation. There was a lot of draping. There was a lot of high level. There was a lot of lighting. For me, I could probably put 5 guys in there and it would have still took about 6 hours to do.
Wow.
If somebody hasn't got the venue the day before,
Yeah.
or we don't have the relationship with the venue, which we do with a lot of venues, we'll go in before the day before.
Yeah.
We'll put all of that stuff in, because on the day before they're putting the tables in, they're putting the seating in, they're all of the florists in there. Everything's going on. So for us to go in and put all of that in, if their wedding is on the day and they've only got the venue on the day, and I've got to put 5 guys in there for 6 hours putting an elaborate installation up above everybody where we need the floor clear, that's not going to work.
That's in your unrealistic box as well, then, isn't it?
It's in my unrealistic box.
But yes, stop making us the bad guys. Because then we have to go, I'm really sorry we can't
Really
do that.
sorry,
the day
can't
of the
do
wedding.
that, and then-
Well, why not? Because whilst your tables are being laid up, your florist is doing your flowers, you know, your band is setting up, whatever, we can't be in there with ladders doing all of that stuff.
But I think the pain of that for us comes with a lot of the venues that we're having these conversations. We are the dedicated or the nominated supplier for working at height.
Of course.
So when we say that we can't do it, it's not like they'll just go, okay, we'll go speak to somebody else, because we're nominated to be doing all of that work.
Yeah.
We're kind of like the last resort. So that, I think that's where that awkward conversation comes in.
Yeah.
Because if we're saying no to something, it's not the venue saying no, because at the end of the day, there is flexibility around something. People can throw money at things, but if the time isn't there to do it,
Well, if there's a wedding the day before, then
it's not there to do it. Like we then have to admit defeat, which we don't like to admit defeat. But we've got our limits as well, and if we can't deliver that, we're not going to say that we can.
So I think there's venues like Elmsbarn, and I'm pretty sure Worstead as well is the same, that have the 3-day hire for couples, where it's great because actually even on day 3 of the previous wedding, see that they're not going to be in there all day, so they'll probably leave early mid-morning, and then you guys can start potentially in the afternoon ahead of day 1 of that.
100%.
Which is great.
We like that because we want couples to come the day before their wedding, see it all done, go to bed knowing, part their ways, however they're doing their tradition, but they know it's good.
Yeah.
I don't want to stress a bride out on the morning of her wedding because she's wanting to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And even though, she can trust in all the people she's booked, you're still going to be getting ready thinking, have they done it yet?
Yeah.
Like, what's it look like? So I always say, like, please, if you can, if you I mean, some situations it works, doesn't it? If you're going to go in and have a nice intimate setup and you're not too worried about all of the other stuff, then you can do it on the day easy.
And especially, I think, as long as they've got nothing high level, we can generally, there isn't much else that we can't pull out of the bag, is it, in terms of that. But it's when we're going in, putting draping up, lighting up, and ladders and so forth, and the particular table arrangement they've got going in is a long banquet style with cloths, so they can't move them around. We can't shuffle around anything.
Everyone's trying to work. Yeah.
So that's.
So what are you putting on the conveyor?
Unrealistic expectations.
I think out of the 3, the one that I'm going to put into the R file, I think is going to be mobile phones.
Yeah.
I think that there is a place for some in some instances, but you sold it to me with the whole concerts thing as well, like thinking about that. Why? Like, why film a whole concert? Why film a whole best man speech? When are you next going to watch that, realistically?
So watch the official
edit. The official edit that's going to come through with the guy that's the videographer that's mic'd the person up as well. That's why you have these extra suppliers. You have content creators are becoming even bigger now. And if you want content in the next 24 to 48 hours, hire a content creator as well as maybe your photographer too.
Because they're going to basically do what the guests do, but to a professional quality standard, aren't they?
Do you know what they do? They edit it.
Yeah.
Because you can get loads of videos. I can get loads of videos, but it's just a load of videos.
Yeah.
But for them to edit it into even a 2-minute video with some music and just like that's it. The delivery of that is worth it. Yeah. So if you're not that way inclined and you can't edit a load of clips together, then that's the route to go down.
Phones are going down.
Phones are going in.
Phones are going.
Sound effects. Okay, well, thank you guys for coming on. The last bit of the episode is the question, which is in the book.
This is exciting.
So Caroline from the Ceremony People has put a question in for you guys to answer, and obviously you'll write a question in as well for the next person. She didn't know that you guys were going to be the next people on the podcast. So the question is, I don't know if you want to read it out as well.
What's the one piece of advice you would give to a wedding planning couple? I know my answer to this already. Enjoy the process. Enjoy it. Like, you don't need to conform to any rules. You don't need to follow traditions if you don't want to follow traditions. You don't need to fall out about things. Like, I just think it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a process. So if you can't enjoy that journey together to get to the day that you're all going to be doing it, then what are you doing it for? So for me, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey together.
And I think where I would lead on to that then is do what you want.
Yeah.
If you don't want a top table and you just want to sit together, do that. If you don't want a top table at all and just want to sit with your guests, do that. If you want wedding favours, you can do that.
If you want 1,000 Years as your old song, you can do that.
If you want Ed Sheeran as your first dance, you can do that.
And if you
Whatever
don't,
you
if
wanna
you don't
do.
want to do it Mum's way, just because Mum couldn't have the
Oh,
wedding
gosh,
that you
yeah.
guys are going to be having, then listen, don't. It's your day,
Yeah.
and do it your way, because it's for you,
Yeah.
and for you and for your guests. And if people don't agree with those ideas, or
Then who even are they?
then it's one less person off your wedding list. More in the budget, but I think enjoy the process, do it your way, and enjoy it.
Yeah, nice, perfect. Well, thank you for showing me around Epic HQ as well, and I look forward to the events that we've got together as well this year.
Yes, Friday, I think the first one.
Friday's the first one.
Yeah.
This has been the R File, and see you next time.